Stop everything you are doing right now and listen to me very carefully. What I'm about to reveal is information the Pentagon is desperate to keep under wraps, and the Israeli censorship board is working overtime to scrub from the internet. We are talking about a fundamental shift in the global balance of power, a moment where the unbeatable shield of the West was shattered in a matter of seconds. Stay with me, because if you turn this off now, you will be walking blindly into a global conflict that has already begun. By the end of this broadcast, you will understand exactly why the streets of Tel Aviv are silent, why the lights in the White House Situation Room are burning at 3:00 a.m., and why the Hwasong-16 is a name that will haunt the dreams of every Western military planner for the next decade. I've spent my life in military intelligence. I've walked the ground in Iraq. I've sat across from the inspectors, and I've analyzed theater-level conflicts for 40 years. I know when I'm being lied to, and I know when a military has been caught with its pants down. What we saw tonight wasn't just a missile launch, it was a funeral for Western technological arrogance. To understand the sheer magnitude of this escalation, we have to look back at the last 48 hours. For weeks, the intelligence community has been buzzing about dark flights, unmarked cargo planes moving between Pyongyang and Tehran under the cover of night, bypassing every radar net the U.S. has in the region. We were told it was spare parts, maybe some drones. That was a lie. The mainstream media told you the sanctions were working, that Iran was isolated. Another lie. While the pundits were talking, the most dangerous weapon system on the planet was being created, shipped, and assembled in the hardened silos of the Zagros Mountains. Imagine the scene. It's Oro 200 hours. The air is cold and still. In a hidden facility deep beneath the earth, a command is given. This isn't the old liquid fuel technology of the 1980s. This is the Hwasong-16B, a North Korean-designed solid-fuel hypersonic glide vehicle. This is the weapon that General Glenn Van Herk warned would stress our defenses to the breaking point. And tonight, Iran didn't just test it, they used it. The central event was unlike anything seen in the history of modern warfare. As the silos opened, there was no long, lumbering countdown. The solid fuel boosters ignited with a violent, white-hot intensity that saturated the infrared sensors of our SBR's satellites instantly. But here is where the panic started. Within seconds of clearing the atmosphere, the heat signatures vanished. The Hwasong-16 doesn't follow a predictable parabolic arc like the missiles the Iron Dome was built to stop. It stays low. It skips off the atmosphere like a stone on water. It generates a sheath of superheated plasma around itself that swallows radar waves whole. Witnesses on the ground in northern Israel described the sky turning a bruised, sickly orange. There were no sirens at first. How could there be? The radar systems were staring at empty space, while the Hwasong-16 was screaming toward its target at Mach 12. That's over 9,000 miles per hour. By the time the acoustic sensors picked up the sonic boom, it was already over. A streak of violet light, a physical manifestation of the air itself being torn apart, tore across the horizon. But that's not even the most shocking part. Stay with me, because what I'm about to tell you changes everything we thought we knew about the special relationship between North Korea and the Islamic Republic. While the world was staring at the violet streak in the sky, something else was happening. This wasn't just one missile. This was a coordinated strike package. The Hwasong-16 was the spearhead, designed to do one thing: decapitate the command and control nodes. We have reports coming in, reports the IDF is trying to suppress, that the primary interceptor batteries near Haifa didn't even fire. They were dead on the pads. The hypersonic glide vehicle performed a high G maneuver that defied the laws of traditional physics, pulling 20 Gs at the edge of the atmosphere to bypass the green pine radar arrays. Israel is in a state of absolute, unmitigated panic. My sources within the intelligence community are describing scenes of chaos in the Kiryat, Israel's Pentagon. The cabinet was rushed to the National Management Center, a nuclear-hardened bunker in the Jerusalem hills. But here's the kicker. They realized that even the bunker wasn't safe. Hypersonic kinetic energy penetrators don't need explosives to destroy a target. The sheer velocity, the mass times the square of the speed, creates an impact equivalent to a tactical nuclear weapon without the fallout. But here's what's even more alarming. And this is where the escalation laddering starts to get terrifying. As the Hwasong-16 hit its marks, proxies across the region were activated simultaneously. This was a synchronized Black Start operation. U.S. bases in Al-Assad and Al-Tanf reported seeing ghost signals on their monitors just before their perimeter defenses were swarmed by low-cost, high-velocity loitering munitions. The message from Tehran and Pyongyang was clear: we can touch you whenever we want, and there is nothing, absolutely nothing, you can do to stop it. Now, you might be asking yourself, Scott, why isn't this on the front page of the New York Times? It's a fair question. The answer is simple. The truth is so devastating to the myth of American hegemony that if the public knew the full extent of our vulnerability, the global economy would vanish overnight. If the Hwasong-16 can bypass the Aegis Ashore systems and the THAAD batteries, then every carrier strike group in the Persian Gulf is nothing more than a multi-billion-dollar floating coffin. Stay with me, because we are moving into the what comes next speculation, and this is the part that should keep you up at night. This wasn't a one-off event. This was a demonstration of a new trilateral of resistance: Russia, North Korea, and Iran. While the U.S. is focused on political bickering, these three powers have integrated their kill chains. The Hwasong-16 uses Russian GLONASS guidance, North Korean airframe design, and Iranian operational audacity. What happens tomorrow? I'll tell you what happens. The oil markets are going to react to the reality that the Strait of Hormuz is now effectively a no-go zone for Western shipping. If Iran can strike with hypersonic precision, they can sink a supertanker from 500 miles away before the captain even knows a missile has been launched. We are looking at $200 a barrel oil. We are looking at an inflationary spiral that will make the 1970s look like the good old days. Your retirement accounts, your grocery prices, your very way of life is tethered to the flight path of that Hwasong-16, and still the superpowers are silent. Why? Because they are in shock. Having spent years analyzing theater-level conflicts, I can tell you that the silence of the Pentagon is the most dangerous sign of all. It means they have no counter move. When we had a gap in the past, we could rely on our qualitative military edge. That edge is gone. It didn't just dull, it snapped. Now, look at the emotional toll this is taking. I see the anger in the comments. I see the grief of people who realized they've been sold a bill of goods by an establishment that promised them safety. You should be angry. You should be concerned. But more than that, you should be informed. The truth, harsher than anything mainstream coverage will say, is that we are now in the post-American era of missile warfare. I want to talk specifically to those of you who have followed my work for years. You know I don't sensationalize for the sake of it. When I told you there were no WMDs in Iraq, I was sidelined. When I told you the Afghan surge would fail, I was ignored. I am telling you now, the deployment of the Hwasong-16 strike system by Iran is the single most important military development of the 21st century. Why the Hwasong-16 specifically? Let's get into the hyper-specific details that the experts on CNN don't even understand. This system utilizes a multi-stage solid fuel engine with a variable geometry nozzle. In my time in military intelligence, we tracked the evolution of the Hwasong series from the old Scuds to the Hwasong-12, but the 16 is a different beast entirely. It uses a cold launch system, meaning it can be fired from a ruggedized TL, a transporter erector launcher, that can hide in a tunnel, drive out, fire in under 60 seconds, and disappear before a satellite can even retask. We're talking about Wave 55 of Operation True Promise 4, a hypothetical scenario that just became a reality. The precision is down to less than 5 meters. Think about that. A missile launched from 1,000 miles away, traveling at 12 times the speed of sound, can hit a specific window in a specific building. That is the truth. The media won't tell you. They want you to think it's a clunky North Korean rocket. It's not. It's a scalpel. Keep watching, because I'm about to reveal the payoff, the biggest claim that I teased at the beginning. You see, the Hwasong-16 wasn't just carrying a conventional warhead. My intelligence sources are indicating that the impact felt in the outskirts of Tel Aviv carried a specific signature, an electromagnetic pulse component designed to fry the local grid without a nuclear detonation. This is non-nuclear EMP technology, or NNEMP. If Iran has mastered the delivery of NNEMP via hypersonic glide vehicles, the game isn't just over. The board has been flipped and burned. This is happening in real time. As I record this, there are reports of massive power outages across the central district of Israel. Is it cyber warfare like the media says? No. It's the physical result of a hypersonic plasma sheath interacting with the localized atmosphere. It's a technological checkmate. If you're feeling a sense of dread, good. That means you're paying attention. But don't let that dread paralyze you. The reason I'm bringing you this exclusive look is so you can prepare for the world that is coming, not the world the media wants you to believe still exists. The Stay With Me direct address isn't just a gimmick. It's a plea for you to stay grounded in reality while the rest of the world drifts off into the propaganda-fed abyss. By the end of this, you will understand that the panic in Israel isn't just about a missile strike. It's about the realization that the Iron Dome, the David Sling, and the Arrow 3 systems, billions of dollars of American and Israeli taxpayer money, are effectively decorative. They are designed to hit targets that follow the laws of 20th century physics. The Hwasong-16 operates in the 21st. We are seeing a deferred payoff on decades of North Korean-Iranian cooperation. While we were focused on maximum pressure sanctions, they were focusing on maximum engineering. The result is a weapon that has no known countermeasure. If the US tries to retaliate, what do we use? Our carriers. We already established they are targets. Our stealth bombers. Hypersonic sensors can track the heat wake of a B-2 from 100 miles away. The stakes keep climbing. We are now looking at a scenario where the US might be forced to negotiate from a position of absolute weakness. Imagine that, the great Satan, as they call us, having to ask for terms. This is the what comes next that no one wants to talk about. A regional war that doesn't just stay regional. A global economic collapse triggered by the sudden irrelevance of Western military force. But I'm not done. There is one more piece of this puzzle that is even more shocking than the missile itself. Stay with me for these last few minutes, because this is the revelation that ties it all together. The Hwasong-16 launch wasn't just a strike, it was a signal. It was a signal to the global south, to the BRICS nations, and to every country that has ever felt the weight of a US carrier group off its coast. The signal is, the shield is broken. I've spent 40 years analyzing these dynamics. I've seen empires rise and I've seen them overextend. What happened tonight in Israel is the definition of overextension meeting innovation. The panic isn't just in the streets, it's in the soul of the Western establishment. They know that the Hwasong-16 is just the beginning. There are more silos, there are more dark flights. This is the cliffhanger we are all living through. Each hour that passes without a clear US response is another hour that the rest of the world realizes the emperor has no clothes. We are waiting to see if the sleeping giant is going to wake up or if it's been sedated by its own hubris. I want you to take a breath. Look at the facts I've given you. The Mach 12 speed, the plasma stealth, the solid fuel reliability, the NNEMP capabilities, and the total failure of Western radar. These are not conspiracy theories. These are theater-level realities that I have analyzed through the lens of 40 years of intelligence experience. The mainstream media will spend the next 24 hours trying to debunk what you just heard. They will bring on retired generals who are on the boards of defense contractors to tell you that everything is under control. They will tell you that the Hwasong-16 is a myth. Ask yourself, if it's a myth, why is the Israeli cabinet still in a bunker? If it's a myth, why did the oil markets just spike? If it's a myth, why is the Pentagon silent? You have the truth now. It's a harsh truth, a terrifying truth, but it's a truth that gives you the power to see the world as it actually is, not as they want you to see it. This could drop at any hour, the next escalation, the next strike, the next move in this global chess game that has just turned kinetic. Stay tuned to this channel. I am monitoring the feeds, I am talking to my contacts in the region, and I will bring you the updates that the privileged sources in the media are too afraid to touch. This is Scott Ritter. I've been right before, and I hate that I'm right again, but you need to know. You have to know, because the world changed tonight, and there is no going back. Keep your eyes on the skies, but more importantly, keep your eyes on the truth. The Hwasong-16 is here. The panic is real, and the truth is only just beginning to surface. Stay with me, because what comes next, well, what comes next changes everything.